Hey everybody, June 1st is not just my birthday, it's the first day of hurricane season.
Happy birthday!
Thanks. Hey, thanks for watching Fun in the Suncoast. My name is Matt.
I'm Jen.
And we're at the Valerie Theater, and don't forget the summer movie series, valerietheater.org. Hurricane season is starting. Yeah, this is a show where people are going to say, you didn't talk about this, you didn't talk about that. This is about thinking about hurricane and being prepared in case we have a hurricane impact us. And it's going to be a hotter summer, I think, than there was last year. So sooner or later, a hurricane is coming.
That's true.
Now, you work in the insurance business.
Yes, I do.
So you know a lot about how this stuff works.
Yes, and I think there's so many things to do as far as, filling up water and all that. Your primary job when you go into hurricane season is to pull out your insurance policy. You think that.
Sorry.
But let me tell you, there is no worse phone call to make or to receive after a storm and letting people know they're not adequately insured. Because we do a fantastic job of reviewing coverages with our insureds and making sure they are knowledgeable and understand their coverages. But it is very important that you pull out your policy. And I don't care where anybody lives in Florida, you're in a flood zone. You really should think about getting flood insurance and getting a quote if you don't have it. But we do have some points to make that, we want you to conduct home inventory. It would be very smart of you. Take your phone, take video, take snapshots of all your valuables and keep it. If you want to put it on a disc, leave it at the safe deposit box, whatever. Get an inventory of your property, get your emergency supplies, and that's what we're going to review now. So my primary thing, please, people, even if you rent, review your insurance policy. I don't care if you rent, you own, please.
And some of the stuff, it's like you don't even think about it, like around your house. Are there branches over your house that should be cut away? You call my old friend Dave at Dre's Tree Service to come cut those out.
Do
you have
it
a
now.
Dead pine tree in your backyard? Is that going to fall over? When the storm is and it's really the after the storm when the power goes out that you're prepared for. But when the storm is raging and a tree falls on your house,
that's correct.
No one's coming out at 2 a.m.
That's
to
right.
You're getting flooded in your house.
And if you get closer to, if there is a storm coming, they're going to be short. You're not going to get anybody out there. They're going to be too busy. They're going to be going to a disaster area. And I personally write the commercial insurance, the business insurance. That's just as important. That's your livelihood.
Right.
That's your future. So please make sure any of your inventory, your valuables are properly insured. So let's go.
So if you live on the Gulf coastal waters, really the main thing is what are you going to do to protect your house against storm surge, and where will you go to you should leave. That's really the number one thing.
Go visit some family up in North Carolina.
If you have the means, go to Cashers, North Carolina, and spend the week at a nice hotel. And if you don't have the means, have friends or family that are inland. And this happened when I was a kid in the 80s when we were threatened by a hurricane. Our friends in Crystal River that lived on one of the canals, they were on their way over to spend a few nights with us until the storm blew by. So be thinking in advance. Don't wait till the night the storm is coming in to decide maybe we should go somewhere.
But it's a good family event too, to sit down and prepare and get the kids very knowledgeable about hurricane preparedness. So I think it's a great family event to do. All right, let's go.
So the first one, I have a question for you.
All right.
Do you know where, because you have a gas stove.
Yes, I do.
My parents have a house with a gas fireplace and a gas dryer. Do you know where the shutoff valve of your gas tank? That is one of the big things they tell people, because if you have one of these external gas tanks that the commercial people fill, you want to turn that off before the storm hits in case the line gets busted. We're not talking about your gas grill. We're talking about the tank that feeds gas into your house. And a lot of people don't have that in Florida. It's more of a big city thing.
Yeah.
But it's not just that kind of gas. And I'm not talking about my Sun morning gas. I'm talking about, is your car full of gas? Do you have gas in your car? Both cars full of gas. Do you have propane for your grill? Do you have both tanks ready to go? Because that might be your main means of cooking food or boiling water.
That's right.
And they say, 3 days. You should be prepared for at least 3 days.
Water. You must have water. You must have at least 1 gallon per person per day. And you can fill that up closer. You don't need to fill up water now and just leave it. But if you're being...
Usually when a storm brews up, they give you the projected path and they keep narrowing it down. So if you think, they're actually projecting something, you can go get your water at that time.
Yes, that's true. And you can purchase bottled water or keep some bottles.
Get by the gallon or the 2 gallon, so it's just sitting there. And don't just think like your pool. Some people think I've got a pool, I'll just use that. But if the pool pump stops running,
it's gonna get funky.
But you do need, one of the things I didn't think of when I was doing the research for this is like, if your power goes out for a few days, your toilets will probably stop working.
If you are not on city water, you will still have water, which
you
is
hope
fantastic.
If the city water doesn't go out like
That's
it did
true.
last year in the city of Inverness.
Yeah, that's true.
So you have the lake, and I don't have a pool. So you really, whether you had a kiddie pool or a couple tubs, and fill them with water for flushing your toilets, because that's going to be a major problem if you can't do that.
That's absolutely
And the
right.
one thing about water, not just water, because this is fun in the Suncoast, you need to have 3 to 5 days worth of either beer or wine to go along, to get through that.
I'm already prepared.
No, we got and your neighbors might be out of beer or wine, so you might want to have a couple extra for when the neighbor comes begging.
Gotta like your neighbor. And appliances. Once the storm hits, I'm sorry. That's yours.
Go ahead.
No.
No, you go ahead.
No, okay, I'll do it. Appliances. Once a storm hits, you need to be ready to unplug your major appliances, because when power starts flickering, surges will wipe out your TVs and major appliances.
So, what will happen with a hurricane, our houses, especially newer houses, should be able to withstand all of this stuff. It's when the power goes down. Okay. And what will happen is the power company, they're going to have everyone stationed ready to come in to start getting the lines up, especially because we generate power in Crystal River. So what they're going to want to do, what you want to do is unplug your TVs. You want to detach your cable from the wall. Electricity, your cable signal is an electrical signal. And you will get power surges through that and through your internet. Disconnect all of that. Everything that's disconnectable, you want to disconnect, because when they start plugging the power back in, you're going to get pow, pow, pow. And that will blow out. And as the insurance, we'd like to think that they're immediately just going to write a huge check for all your stuff.
Chances are you have a hurricane deductible.
That's right.
So you need to look at that.
Protect your appliances by unplugging them.
Yes.
And the other part of it is, what are you going to do for a light source? In the
Candles
old days,
are
people,
dangerous.
candles, I got my grandfather's kerosene lantern.
What was that? There's some really great LED lanterns now. Go to Lowe's. They have some great, and the battery power. Yeah, the battery power lasts a long time.
With the LEDs, they last forever.
Yep.
So don't forget about the candles and the kerosene lanterns. Get a couple LED lanterns.
Yep.
And one of the things about the electricity thing and all this, before the storm comes in, make sure your cell phones are fully charged. And you got a couple cell phones, we have a couple. Keep one turned off.
Also, get a juice box or an exterior power pack and keep that charged. So at least you'll have an extension. But get a good one. I have the little Mophie. That thing's wonderful.
And if you have the means, I looked on the local home store, and you can get a little mini generator for under $1,000, which is a lot of money. And I personally, I wouldn't. But if you do, some people have massive, they can power their whole house.
Yep.
But you can at least get a small generator, because here's the problem. When the electricity goes out, your refrigerator will not be working any longer.
Correct.
And you have to be prepared to not open that refrigerator. Matter of fact, I say keep your coolers full of ice, your lunch meat, your milk in a cooler, so you don't open that and you know what's in that fridge to grab it out and close the door.
And I do suggest that you keep your freezer packed with bottles of water, because a cold freezer, a packed freezer, will stay cold longer.
And they say turn it down. As the storms come in, turn it down a little bit more so it stays cold.
So keep it full.
Your little mini generator for that $500-600, you can plug it in your refrigerator a few times a day. You can plug your cell phones. Sometimes the cable and stuff comes back, and you can plug your TV in and see if there's any information.
We pray that we never have to use any of this. But we've been very, very lucky. So
well, you think about it, it's like same thing with Katrina. The storm itself, it wasn't the storm. It was when the levees broke and flooded the 9th Ward. That was the disaster. So for us here in West Florida, the coastal, you can get flood, surge water and all that.
Easy.
But inland, it's going to be when the power goes out for 3 days.
That's right.
And what are you going to do during that time?
I'm out of here.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I can tell you that.
Me too. I'm going to my mom and dad's
I'm going
house.
to my home.
So, anyways, lastly, like I just mentioned with the refrigerator, know what is in your refrigerator, open, grab, close. Because the cold air just comes right on out of there. Have some canned food. A lot of people don't have canned food anymore because we get good fresh food year round. But when you know it's coming, get some canned green beans, some chili, and all the rest of that stuff just in case.
Yeah.
And if you have a grill, of course, make sure that propane is ready to go, because you can use that to boil water. Of course, you can get the little tablets that you can put in the water. But if you're thinking ahead, not last minute, you can get 10 gallons of water, and you'll have plenty of water for water drinking or making Kool-Aid or making coffee.
Yep.
And it's just, but the main thing is to be thinking about what we're gonna do, not waiting until, the hurricane's on the way, what do we do?
Like I said, it's going to be really hard to get the tree guy in there
Right.
the week before a storm comes. So
And that's
get
right.
it done now.
It's the beginning of June, so if you have branches over your roof,
Trim
you
them.
can call. There's a bunch. My old friend Dave Connolly has
Yep.
his Dave's Tree Service, and I haven't even spoken to him about it. I
Yep.
just know he's out there, and he'll come and get those tree branches all trimmed away. The old tree that's about to fall over, they'll cut that down now, so it doesn't fall on your house when the winds are 70 miles an hour.
And if you want to stop by my office, Van Allen Essentia Insurance, we have a list of hurricane tips. So feel free to stop in and ask for a
That's right. And I got my homeowners insurance from
You're in good hands,
Yeah,
Matthew.
from
You
Marianne,
are.
who's known me since I was a little kid, and I know that she's, writing. And we have lots of good insurance agencies in
Yes.
Citrus County, so we're not trying to say one
Yeah.
above the other.
Yeah.
But if you do think you need a review, go talk to
Do
your
it.
insurance agent and make sure that you're covered, because that would be the worst thing, is to have half your roof blown off and find out that you have a huge deductible or something isn't quite
Yeah.
covered, and just a quick meeting with your insurance agency would
Any new
solve that.
jewelry, ladies, get your stuff scheduled. for
Yeah,
sure.
take a video, photograph with your phone.
Yeah.
And
Alright.
that sounds like fun, right? But the main thing is to be prepared with some beer and wine, some board game. What's the board game that we played with you that
Oh,
time?
apples to apples.
Apples to apples. Have a
Yes.
deck of cards. Be ready to
Yep.
do something with the power out for a few days. Have fun. And thanks for watching us on Fun in the Suncoast. We'll see you next time.
Bye.